Hi, my name is Natascha Polké. I'm an artist who produces, who writes and play live. I do a cross between singer-songwriter and melodic house, and so many of you have asked me to take my live set apart and show you how I play live, so that's what we're gonna do now. Let's dive in. I'm gonna show you all my gear. I'm gonna give you a rundown from my controllers to my in-ears, but the heart of my live set is happening within Ableton and my vocals. So let's dive into the Ableton set right now. My Ableton setup is divided between my stem section right here and my playground section over here, where I have all my instruments. I have drum racks, I have normal instruments from pianos to synth sounds, and those I map to my MIDI keyboard and my drum rack. And if you wanna know more about it, you can click on the link down here. So a lot of people ask me how I trigger my scenes and how I activate my instruments, and I do this all with my APC. I have different instruments that I can activate and adjust with the knobs right here. I trigger all my scenes with the APC. And I do my transitions here. But yeah, if you want to know more about this, you can also click down on the link below. So again, in my playground section, I have my different instruments. I can activate sounds from piano sounds to drum sounds. Or actually, they're not drum sounds, they're samples that I program onto my sample pad. Then I also have synth sounds here. And yeah, they all help me to bring the tracks on stage and rearrange them in a live setting. Yeah, this is only a MIDI controller, but with this I control the Diva or Serum or contact instruments that I play within Ableton, and it can sound like this. Yeah, with the drum pad, it has nice drum sounds, but you can also program samples onto here. Woo! There's also a third part in my Ableton session that I use quite heavily, and it's the arrangement view. It's where I plan everything for the session view. I cut samples apart, I load them onto my drum pad or onto my MIDI keyboard, and I bounce down the stems that I need in my session view to play live. Let me give you a rundown of my whole gear that I'm using. I already mentioned it. I use my APC 40 Mark II quite heavily. I use the Moog Sub 37 as my analog synth. I have a MIDI keyboard. I have the X-Touch Mini by Behringer and the Alessis drum pad. And I also use the Revelo from Tyle to create white noise. And for my interface, I use my Apollo X4 by Universal Audio. That's where I collect all my sound and run it through a master chain, which gives me a very good sound for any PA. I also run my vocals through my UAD, and it gives me great control over my vocals and the effects I'm using on there. I can control my own in-ear mix through my UAD and in combination with the X-Touch Mini. And yeah, the routing is pretty complex in here. I worked with Felix Lehmann to get this right. But yeah, if you want to know more about this, we could dive into this deeper in the video, in the full video. With my UAD, I can also control my vocals really easily. I can control my vocal mix and also the effects I'm running my vocals through. And I always have it right in front of me to have good access to it. And it can sound something like this. So we just use extreme amount of reverb and delay on this. And for this, it's extremely important that you use in-ears, so you don't have to have monitors on stage to avoid feedback and to be able to use the effects in the best way possible. So I get asked a lot how I do transitions within my live set. And the way I do it is I divide a track into 3 parts. I have a main part, that's the part where I play all my instruments and I sing. And then I have an outro part and an intro part. And I'm gonna draw it for you so it makes more sense. So I have my main part here. I'm playing instruments, I play the drum pad, I play instruments again, I sing. And then when I come to the end of my track, I go into an outro bit. And this outro bit is played in a loop. So it's kind of my safety zone. I can drink a glass of water there or whatever. And from this outro, I go into my next intro. I mostly do it by introducing one element at a time of my next intro until I have arrived at my next intro, and as soon as I'm fully in my next intro, I can launch the next main bit. But you will see that in a second when I perform for you. I often get asked how I prepare my live sets, and the truth is, it's a lot of hard work. But in short, I cut my tracks apart into 7 to 9 stems that allow me to be flexible and move around flexibly within the stem part. I have the instrument part, and there I have to define and decide which elements and which instruments I want to play with my MIDI keyboard and what one-shots or sounds I want to trigger with my sample pad. And that is a lot of cutting, a lot of programming, a lot of practicing. Yeah, then I have to rehearse transitions, songs, what is happening within the song. But at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something, and hopefully see you in the class, or even better, on stage.